Welcome in, everybody, to Leading Off, brought to you by MGM right here on Fantasy Pros. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pisapia. With me today is my good pal, Scott Bogman. And of course, it's you. And we're recapping all things going on in Major League Baseball. We got betting stuff to talk about. We've got DFS stuff to talk about. We got fantasy. We got real baseball. Who knows what other stupid things we'll talk about today. Scott Bogman, it is great to see your face again, as always, my good friend. I had a question for you, Scott.
Let's
I saw this today on the Twitterverse. Somebody said, someone cut me off today, and instead of giving me the finger, they gave me the thumbs down. And I'm not sure if that was more insulting or less. And on my way home from the gym today, I actually had somebody cut me off, and I wanted to give them the thumbs down. And I thought, is that the thing to do? Is that more insulting? Is that like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed in you?
I don't know. It feels like they're marking you for death, like you're in the Gladiator or something. Yeah, that's it for you. That was your last. That's the last time you've been cut off ever. That's very strange. I can't get through that, so I can't process it in my brain.
Well, just be safe out there, everybody. Don't cut people off. I mean, you're not going anywhere in the suburbs faster. Okay, there's a light every 2 seconds. I don't know who you think you are. But anyway, I'm not going to bring all my baggage into the show. We're going to talk some baseball stuff. And let's start with Carlos Rodon, shall we? Oh, baby. Carlos Rodon, 12 strikeouts over 6 in a victory over the Rockies yesterday. Nestor Cortez was pretty good, too. He was flirting with a no-no yesterday afternoon. I caught part of this game. The mustache was glorious. He was glorious. 11 strikeouts over 7 1/3. I wish I had been more in on Nestor Cortez. I don't know if you've got any shares, but he has been fantastic. And I want to say almost like the most important piece for the Yankees so far this year.
Yeah, he's been absolutely outstanding. And he's one of those guys, he finished off the year great. His K per 9 was awesome. His walk per 9 is very low. So that's kind of my simple logic for throwing a dart on that guy, at the end of drafts. And fortunately, that worked out for me. So my dart throws have worked for me so far this year. My starters, my top end guys, they've been okay. But my dart throws, him and Merrill Kelly are my two most rostered. So it has been working out.
Is Carlos Rodon starting to get into the territory where he becomes almost a sensible wager now for National League Cy Young? Because I feel like first month this season, we all kind of say, all right, now we're good 6 weeks or so. We're getting towards that period. When does he become investable? Because I feel like, and I'll double check what the number is right now over on FanDuel, but I'm just curious, like when does it become an investable number for you? What's that number? When do you feel like there's enough starts where you feel like it's safe, like he's actually going to pitch a whole season? Or is there such a thing? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there isn't such a window.
Look, he's definitely, you can definitely buy him for Cy Young right now. I don't know why you wouldn't. He is crushing everyone in all of the stats right now. It's just unbelievable how good Carlos Rodon has been going to San Francisco. And a lot of times you see guys go to a different team and step up. He was already good, and now he's at like Cy Young level. So it's just been insane. I have, as much as I bragged about Nestor and Merrill Kelly, I have 0 shares of Carlos Rodon. I think I was the lowest Fantasy Pros ranker on him as well, because I'm just not convinced he's going to make it through the season, because he just doesn't. So maybe something has changed. I hope I'm wrong. Like I said with Buxton, I hope I'm wrong on those. Doesn't mean I won't brag when I'm right, but I hope I am incorrect. We want first-round talents to make it through the year. So the bet's not bad, but that is why I wouldn't invest in Carlos Rodon, because I still don't think he makes it through the year.
On Betting Pros right now, the consensus is plus 650, but you could still get plus 700 over on FanDuel. And, I'm looking around. Kershaw's at, believe it or not, Kershaw's plus 1700 on FanDuel. Walker Buehler's plus 1200. Carlos Rodon is plus 7. I can't wrap my mind around it yet. I feel like I'd be wasting money, but I'm also equally parts afraid that it's going to get away from me and it's going to be 2-1 or minus money. At some point, I'm going to say, man, I wish I had made an investment at 7. I feel like maybe just a 10 spot on there might be good just to cover my bases.
It's May. So, he gets rocked a couple times or has, some type of injury and then misses a chunk of starts and comes back. He's still an awesome pitcher. But that's why I wouldn't invest. But you absolutely can. I mean, because he's leading by a wide margin right now.
All right, Ranger Suarez put a lot of people's minds at ease with 6 scoreless innings against Seattle yesterday. Nick Castellanos doubled twice in that game and drove in 3 runs. Mike Trout homered for Mike Mayer. Gross. and I'm mad about it because I had Trout, and of course I changed it. So there you go. No Bryce
Pivot.
Harper homer for me. Yeah, I know it's the worst. It's always compounded when I go back and forth on somebody. I pick the wrong one, and then Mike Mayer picks that. And he's at the dentist today. So, because that's what heels do. They go to the dentist and they say, just give me more dental work because I can't get any more angry about things.
R.I.P. Mike.
Right. First career grand slam for Shohei Ohtani yesterday. 2 of his home runs. One of them was a grand slam. Kyle Hendricks, good game against the Padres, 8 2/3 for him. Josh Naylor hit a grand slam, knocks in 8 runs in the victory. More on that in a second. And we also had Ketel Marte hit a go-ahead home run too. So a Ketel Marte signing. Here's a fun fact. You ready for this, Boggs? Josh Naylor of the Cleveland Guardians is the first player in Major League history with 2 3+ homers in the 9th inning or later in the same game. What do you think of that?
I think it was awesome. It was great to see. I bet he celebrates with a couple cheeseburgers. He's definitely on the Scott Bogman diet. Josh Naylor is right there. So I appreciate a big guy hitting some bombs. And Ketel Marte also. How about those D-backs? I've never been more proud of a last place team right now in the NL West show because they're only 4.5 back and they're 2 games over 500. I can't remember when they were this far above 500 this late in the season in recent memory. So I know it's May 10th, but they've been rough. So,
and they're doing it with a tough roster. I mean, that roster, you look at that every night. I look at it and I say to myself, is there anybody here for the Diamondbacks who's cheap that I want? And most of the days I go, I can't invest in them. It's really hard. But to their credit, they fight and they battle and they're, win some games, but I don't think it's
not all sunshines and roses. Seth Beer 0 for 35. He has the longest hitless streak of any non-pitcher in D-backs history.
Oh my God. 0 for 35.
He's
wow. I didn't realize
35. It's rough.
Wow.
Yeah.
That guy needs
his only homer was the walk-off on opening day. That's it. Still, that's his only bomb.
But you know what? That's going to last a long time in your memory.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
Totally worth it. It was like when Eric Cartman goes to Casa Bonita and he does it in 1 minute. And at the end, they're like, was it worth it, Seth Beer? And
Josh Naylor's in there for sure. Eating everything up.
Yeah, Josh Naylor's totally hitting the taco bar at Casa Bonita. All right, injuries. Seiya Suzuki removed with ankle soreness. Keep an eye on that. Manny Margot departed with a sore hamstring yesterday. This was fun.
I added him in many spots.
Oh, is it you?
That's on me. Yeah. Sorry, Manny Margot owners. That's my fault.
This is why we can't have nice things. Why do you add people? Why do you do this to us? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Also, this was kind of fun. Somebody on Twitter, once again, Twitter is undefeated. Somebody decided to go and do a deep dive on number of home runs Chris Woodward had at either the old or new Yankee Stadium. And apparently the answer was none. Zero. So
isn't it the best that the day after he said that, then Nestor goes in and has a no-hit bid through 7 2/3. I mean, just the best. Baseball just continues to be amazing. I love it.
It's a good time, baby. It's a good time. That was my favorite, though. I just thought that was just so entertaining. I really enjoyed that somebody spent the time and energy to go, you know what? I'm going to do a deep dive on Chris Woodward's home runs at Yankee Stadium. If it's such a little league field, why didn't he hit any? Because he looks like a little leaguer in all fairness. So, shout out.
What was the deep dive? Go to Baseball Reference and click on Yankee Stadium and see that guy had none. I mean, come on,
but that's like 8 seconds of your life you'll never get back spent on Chris Woodward's historical baseball knowledge.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong there. So
just saying.
Not gonna argue.
All right. Yesterday we did a deep dive on the xFIP versus ERA on the negative side. The guys who right now have really good ERAs, but the xFIP is larger and is suggesting regression. We talked about Gonsolin, we talked about Bumgarner, even touched on Kopech, and even Welsh had a long diatribe about Manoah, who is still great, but that ERA is going to come back down to earth, probably somewhere in that high 2, low 3s pretty soon. Today we're going to do the inverse, where we're going to look at some of those guys who right now have bad ERAs, but it's not necessarily telling the tale. And I always think that's super important too.
The FIP beater.
One is the FIP beaters. Here's a FIP beater that you probably wouldn't guess because Brandon Woodruff did not make a lot of people happy yesterday. He has an 11.62 K per 9. His ERA right now is at 5.97, but the xFIP is 3.27. I would be buying Brandon Woodruff. This is the time to do it. Let's go. Another guy who kind of, sticks out like a sore thumb when you start doing this is his teammate, Freddie Peralta. 11.7 K per 9, 5 ERA, the xFIP 305. I know when you look at this list, Boggs, there's some guys too that, where, the high ERA and the xFIP are close, but when you're looking for guys right off the top, like to me, this is the perfect way to start buying guys. Another guy is Eduardo Rodriguez, who everybody knows I love Eduardo Rodriguez. As the weather gets warmer, he's going to get hotter. He had a good start last week. And I'm telling you right now, this is another guy. K per 9 is around 9. Right now, the ERA is a 4.5. The xFIP at 3.82. So any of these guys or somebody else in terms of that differential stick out to you as a good buy low from a pitching standpoint.
Yeah, I mean the biggest discrepancy that I really see here is outside of the guys that you mentioned, because every time I'm looking through here, I'm like, oh, Joe got that guy, Joe got that guy. Steven Matz, his xFIP is 2.92, his ERA is 7. So it looks like he's going to come back. I love the Eduardo call. I'm in one 10-man league, and I keep hovering over drop on Eduardo. And then I go, I can't do it. As soon as Rio
don't
comes
do it.
back,
That'd be
though,
silly.
as soon as Rio comes back, though, I mean, he's by far my worst pitcher. I mean, I haven't, like, it's a 10-man, so I'm not dropping him for cool chat or anything like that. But, there are some guys I would definitely drop him for. And look, in a 12-man, I added cool chat the other day, too, because that guy's been great. But yeah, I think Woodruff, Peralta, those are the biggest ones by far of the FIP beaters here.
And the one that's important to me is that K per 9. Like if the guy's got a good K per 9, I think these things start to turn back around. Good K per 9, good xFIP. That's what I'm looking for. Hunter Green's another one too. 12.6 K per 9. ERA is at 8.71. xFIP is at 4. Okay, like you could be a 4 ERA pitcher for the Red Sox, got a bunch of guys.
It's just
it's not bad for a young pitcher because they have limited innings, and I think that's the thing. When the limited innings,
it's so flat. And so I think there's going to be days where he just goes out and dazzles, and there's going to be days where he goes out and just gets ripped. So, because the ballpark is not great for him. So, those home games could start getting real ugly real quick. So he's one of those guys I'm just less inclined. Matt's, ERA under 3, ERA, xFIP, under 3, ERA over 7. That's too big of a discrepancy. That's going to come back real quick.
All right, let's have a little trivia for the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. And remember, if you want to get in on this and hang out and be a Peanut and Cracker Jack, you have to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/FantasyPros MLB. Today's trivia question is, after Shohei Ohtani hit his first Grand Slam, who's the Angels' career leader in Grand Slams? And the hint I'm going to give everybody, it's not Mike Trout. So there you go. So I'm taking the big guy off the board. It's not Trout. Clearly, it's not Ohtani. Who's the career leader in Angels Grand Slams? And yes, it is somebody in recent memory. this person. It's not somebody from the 60s.
Joe,
so
can I just tell you how proud I am that you have not made the dad pun of Trout passing Salmon on the all-time Angel Stadium home run list? It would have been a step too far. I can't believe you didn't say it, and I'm just incredibly proud. I feel like we're working through these dad jokes, and I appreciate it.
Well, look, I appreciate that you appreciate it, and I imagine that you thought that it was pretty fishy of me that I didn't.
Oh man, like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I mean, it's just the way we go. So, all right, Joe, you got me. You got
really
me.
Easy.
Congrats.
It was like shooting fish in a barrel there. And it did come to me, and I said, you know what? I'm not gonna say it. No, it's not Tim Salmon. Everybody in the chat, I see the chat going crazy with the Tim Salmon. It's not the Tim Salmon, but you're close. You're getting warmer. So there you go. All right, let's get to some of the zeros while you guys try to figure out the trivia. Nestor Cortez, the heroes, and then we'll get to the zeros. The heroes, Nestor Cortez, 11 Ks, 4 walks, 7 innings. Unbelievable. Ranger Suarez, we talked about him being good too. Urias, 4 Ks. Give up 11 hits, though, in the 200 runs against the Pirates. Like, I don't want to give up 11 hits against the Pirates. That's just embarrassing. Are we seeing a Jose Quintana renaissance, Boggs? Because he was a 2.70 ERA right now. I don't know what to make of this guy.
I can't buy. Jose Quintana is here to absolutely eat up innings. So the thing is, you can't roster him because, sure, he'll go 6 and give up none and have a good start every once in a while, but he's also going 6 even if he has to give up 8 or 9. So he's going to be in there to eat up innings so that they don't absolutely tax this bullpen. And that is his job. So he is going to wear it. So we hope that he keeps pitching well, but I don't expect him to keep pitching well.
All right. Also, it is not Troy Gloss. A very good answer. But you're very warm, and it's not Albert Pujols. So we continue to go through here. Paul Blackburn, who Mayor hates, just keeps on pitching pretty well. I mean, his ERA is at 1.74. He's 4-0. I know it's against the Tigers, and yes, I do think you should sell high. But Paul
What are you
Blackburn
gonna
getting it
get
done.
for
I told
Paul
you.
Blackburn? Paul Blackburn is the guy that you add. You just leave him on your roster until he has like 3 bad starts in a row because he's been so good. I've got him rostered in the AL only. I just picked him up after his second start. And
Well,
I'm
that's
like,
a great spot to have him in AL only.
yeah, this guy is going to be great. Yeah, and he holds a little more value in those leagues too. And it's a 16-man AL only too, so it's
Oh my
gross.
God. Why do you hate yourself and do these
Well,
things
it's
and
those
play in
entry
that
leagues
league?
that we do for in this league. We have an AL and an NL. I'm like middle of the pack in AL, but I'm 4th in NL. So I want to win one of those. I haven't won one yet, but yeah, man. Blackburn, if you can get anything rosterable, if you can get some saves you need or a stolen base or something, like go get it. But I just don't expect it to happen.
By the way, Mike Mayer from the dentist chair. Sell high on Paul Blackburn. Guy stinks. So somebody put Mike Mayer under. Please. Please just put him under
What did
there.
Paul Blackburn take Mike Mayer's spot in the
I don't know. He
rotation? Is
hates
that
Paul
what it is?
Blackburn. He hates him because I've been right about him. And every week he's good. And I told everybody yesterday,
You
I
know
was
what,
like,
Mike,
look, on
I can get on
DraftKings,
board with that. Yeah.
on DraftKings, he was like 7.5. And I'm like, look, 7.5, you can go get Rodon and put Blackburn in and just go to
Sure.
town. And if Blackburn gets you the W, you're in good
Won
shape.
some people some money yesterday.
Kopech, I know, 7 Ks for Kopech and 6. His ERA is under 1 at 0.93. Syndergaard, all of a sudden, the strikeouts coming back a little bit yesterday against the Rays. That's a good sign for him. Kyle Hendricks, we mentioned him and Rodon being very good. The hitters yesterday, besides the Angels guys, Bryce Harper, 3 for 4. No home run for me, just 3 for 4. So I was right. He hit the ball over the ballpark, but unfortunately, not out of the ballpark. Also got another steal, his 4th of the year. Reese Hoskins hit a home run. Brian Hayes had a steal and was 3 for 5. Brendan Drury 2 for 5 with a homer. Josh Naylor had a day for the ages, and your daily Quan 1 for 5, but a stolen base for the Quan.
Hey,
So his
we'll take the stolen base for
year.
sure. Let's
First
please
home run,
have this
stolen
be.
base.
Let's please have this be the renaissance of Hoskins' power, please. That's all I want. So I've got him rostered in too many spots. So
Gavin Hirsch has got
Gavin.
it. It is Garrett
Excellent.
Anderson, the most grand slams in Angels history. Garrett Anderson was a really good player for a very long time. Underrated. If Garrett Anderson
Always underrated.
played for the Yankees, people would talk about him like he was Bernie Williams. I'm telling you right now. They would. He was
They
a really
would
good
have.
player.
I just remember always having Garrett Anderson, Raul Ibanez, and Juan Pierre. That was like my 3 outfielders.
It's a hell of an
that I had.
outfield.
Yeah.
I had a
You
lot
get
of
your
Garrett
steals from
Anderson.
Juan Pierre, and you got power from the other guys. Average from Garrett. I love it.
25, 85, 85. That was your
right.
Garrett Anderson, just steady as a rock. I had a lot of Maglio Ordonez in those days.
Oh,
too.
I had a lot of Maglio too.
Oh,
yeah. Oh God.
So many
was he great.
Maglio shares. Wonder what he's doing right now. Let's get him on the show. Mayor, go text Maglio. Get him on the show.
Like
Here are
Maglio Ordonez sounds like something I would order from a restaurant that your cousin runs.
I'm gonna gotta get the Maglio Ordonez and a side of plantains. That's what I want. That would be I love fried plantains all day. I'll eat that, especially if you get like that sweet cream with it.
Oh yeah,
it's good. Yeah. All right, pitchers who were zeros yesterday. Chris Flexen, we talked about him. Talked about ganging up on him. Carlos Hernandez, 6 earned runs. Brandon Woodruff, 5 earned runs, 6 Ks. This is your window, everybody. He lost to the Reds. It doesn't get lower than this. He's still striking out everybody. Bye. We just showed you the xFIP. We proved it. Austin Gommer, the 5 earned runs from him. Hitters, here we go. 0 for 5 for Schwarber. That slash is pathetic right now. 200, 304.
Thanks, Angel Hernandez. It's all his fault. I'm just gonna blame Angel for everything that goes wrong.
He might as well. Franmil Reyes 0 for 5, 4 Ks. So Franmil has gone backwards. Jose Abreu 0 for 6 with a K. Cody Bellinger 0 for 4 with 4 Ks. And the 0 for 4 club with 3 strikeouts, Pavin Smith, Hunter Renfroe, Randall Grichuk, Adolis Garcia, and CJ Cron. So there you go.
You should please do a check-in with Cody Bellinger next time Welsh is on. Is that Thursday?
Why?
Just go over some Bellinger stats with him just to needle him a little bit. I'd appreciate that. So,
Well, why he was on the negative Bellinger train?
No,
is that why?
He loves Bellinger.
He loves him.
So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, he hasn't been a complete waste of space. I mean, he's had some moments at least.
Yeah, he's been better than expected.
He hasn't been Whit Merrifield for God's sake. Oh my God.
You know what? I'm the Whit guy too. You know what? Maybe don't needle Welsh because the Whit stuff will come back to me. You know what? Never mind. You know what? We're gonna pass on that. So you know.
Ever since we talked about that Magli Ordonez with the plantains, I'm hungry for lunch now. I just want to get that. Let's check out the home run board. Boom. The Night King of the North cannot be defeated. My goodness, he's magical. He's still at the top with 12. DeBlum, I've been corrected. It was not DeBloom. I thought it was funny, like he was making a funny pun, but no, it's DeBlum. So again, apologies. Up to 11, thanks to Mike Trout. Florence Sox is up to 10. So things are going in the right direction for everybody but me. Mike Mayer is up to 5. He's slowly creeping his way off onto that board. If he gets to that board, it's going to be awful. It's going to be unbearable. So we got to make sure that doesn't happen. Hopefully we'll get some right. Let's get to the prop bets of the day. Brought to you by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Download the BetMGM app or go to betmgm.com. Bet $10, win $200 when you bet on any game, regardless of the outcome. And this is for new users only. And when you're a new user, go to leading off as the code. One word, leading off. Just do it. Tell them the king sent you and go start making some money. We've been making some money here on these prop bets. I'm telling you, if you're somebody who doesn't love DFS, you love fantasy, the prop bets are a fun way. Today is going to be very Wander centric here on the show for the betting props. Wander Franco total bases at DK 1.5. That pays out at plus 110. Run scored. If you like the total bases, I like the run scored at 0.5 on DK2 plus 125. You can put these together with something else good, like, I don't know, maybe Mike Trout total bases against Tampa tonight against the Clubs. He is at 1.5, and you get plus 110 plus money on Mike Trout any day of the week is good. Otani's got plus money also, plus 130 at 1.5 on DK. And Jazz Chisholm, who's been red hot this year, he is at 1.5 with plus 110 on the total bases, and these are all on DK. Moving on to the starting pitchers for tonight. On DraftKings, you got 2 different slates here. You got the 6 o'clock games kind of isolated in that turbo, and then you got the 7 o'clock games when they start. So Carlos Carrasco going against the Nationals at 8.7 is a good value. Garrett Whitlock is as well at 7.7. I want to pause here because we got some news about Garrett Whitlock not that long ago. He is going to be remaining in the rotation, at least for now. That seems to be what pitching coach Dave Bush told The Athletic. So I'm excited about this. I've got a ton of shares, 29 strikeouts, 4 walks, 1.25 ERA, 0.69. Let me tell you, this guy's an asset and he qualifies at RP. Your thoughts on Whitlock, Bachman?
I mean, it's great. I think it's also a reaction to a Chris Sale having the setback. They said it's a personal issue setback. I'm not sure what that means, but it's not great. I know I've got Chris Sale rostered. Everything I drafted before March, I've got Chris Sale rostered in. So not fantastic for those leagues for me. But I think it's a direct response to that. And I think it's obviously a huge bump for Whitlock's value. So I love it. And I've got him rostered in a couple spots.
Before we get back to the DraftKings pitchers, I don't know if this is true. We have to Google this, but even if it's not, it's worthy of bringing up here. Did you see this? Jesse L from the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
That's my
Maglio
guy.
is a mayor in Venezuela somewhere now. So I want this verified. Can you Google verify this for me about Maglio?
I'm looking up his wiki right now. Let's see.
That's got to be the right.
In 2013, he announced that he'd be running for public office in his native country, Venezuela, and was elected mayor of the Juan Antonio Sotelito municipality in December. So he's not only has he been a mayor, he's been a mayor since 2013. He's been doing it for a while. So thank you, Jag, for the news.
Dude, I mean, if I was sitting on a ton of money, the last thing I'd want to do is have to worry myself about politics in Venezuela. That does not seem like the job for somebody hopefully he's enacting good things there and he's doing if so, lots of credit to Maglio Ordonez. I always knew I liked that guy. High on base percentage in life and in baseball.
Why don't you read about his political career before you give him a whole bunch of praise?
No.
I love Maglio too. I just don't know. You never know with politicians. So
I mean, that's true. Well, more to come on that. We'll see if I make it. To Maglio Ordonez.
Don't praise him and then you read a bunch of stuff about how horrible he is.
This just in. It looks like Paul Konerko is looking to become mayor of Albuquerque, New Mexico. So that's no, I'm just making this up. All right, next year.
It sounds believable. Konerko's from Arizona. I mean, so settling in New Mexico wouldn't be a shock. He went to Chaparral High. So, I started to believe that for a second, Joe. You shouldn't make that. Don't make stuff up that's so close. Just say he's going to run for mayor of Mars. Come on.
Hey, if Joey Votto is a Hall of Famer, then Paul Konerko is. Go look at the numbers. Just saying. Paul Konerko is incredible. All right, so Garrett Whitlock on DK. I love him as a secondary arm, 7.7 tonight. Kyle Wright is always worth paying up for, 10K. I'll pay up for him. I will, because he's been so good. Verlander, you could pay up for 10-4. Joe Ryan's a little bit in the middle. I would wait on Adam Wainwright. I know he's cheaper. I would give him a little bit of a breath from the COVID stuff. Lucas Giolito's at 9.7, decent investment. Aaron Nola 8.9, Robbie Ray 8.3. Lots of guys going against each other tonight too, which I don't love. So I want to stick with Garrett Whitlock, Kyle Wright, Garrett Whitlock, Justin Verlander on DK. If you want to go real cheap, Carrasco and Whitlock, and then load up on offense, you could do that too. On FanDuel, a little different. Everything's in that main slate for you. Carrasco's at 8.6, Whitlock at 7.9. As standalone pitchers, you can go that route tonight. And then if you want to pay up, it's Wright and Verlander, same thing. Both guys are approaching 11K. They're both at that high end 10. And Joe Ryan's at 10 too also. So there's no quarter anymore. You don't get Ryan cheap. You don't get Giolito cheap at 10.3. Nobody's been cheap right now on the FanDuel scale, those good pitchers. Game stacks tonight, like the White Sox, Cardinals, and Mets. Go ahead, Box.
We're 6 weeks in, so prices are starting to get trending towards correct instead of, oh, there's way overvalue here, way undervalue here. So it's getting a little bit tougher. Stats are evening out.
Speaking of stats, Bogman's bringing the heat with the BVP or PVB. What do you like? Do you like BVP or PVB? What do you prefer?
BVP. Adverse pitch.
BVP.
Well,
BVP.
Look. How about a stack first? Royals versus Martin Perez, 22-72. That's a 303 average, 3 bombs and 3 doubles. So you could stack Royals if you were looking for that. A couple of guys, Nelly Cruz, 12 of 32, 5 homers and 3 doubles versus Carlos Carrasco. So he just owns Carrasco. Jose Ramirez, 7 for 25 with a homer and 2 doubles for Giolito. Blackman, 13 for 27 with a double versus Alex Wood. Pete Alonso should be a fun home run pick today. 11 of 32, 4 bombs, 2 doubles versus Patrick Corbin, who is ice cold. JD Davis also 10 for 30 with 4 bombs and 3 doubles versus Corbin. So he's just an automatic extra base hit against Corbin, it looks like. Witt, let's get him off the schneid. 8 for 21, 2 doubles versus Martin Perez. DJ LeMahieu, 6 for 14 and a double. Miguel Rojas versus Bumgarner. Bryce Harper versus Robbie Ray. Marcus Semien versus Keller. And Nico Goodrum is 2 for 2 with 2 bombs versus Joe Ryan. So wouldn't be surprised to see him at least get an at-bat today. So those are the PVBs for today.
Very good. And one of yours is actually my home run pick, Pete Alonso. Let's go against Patrick Corbin or whoever else they're going to get into that bullpen early would be my guess. The Mets have the best record in baseball. Am I saying that correctly? It feels, I don't know, off.
The Diamondbacks over 500, so we're definitely living in the upside down.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that is, but alas, I'm still going to go there anyway. Let's get to your home run call. Who are you going with tonight?
Give me Nelly Cruz. That PVB is too good. I haven't used it the last couple times, and not using PVB has been working out for me on the home run call, at least. Not so much of my DK lineups, but I'm going to go back to it. Let's go with Nelly Cruz to rip one tonight.
And it looks like Mike Mayer either just left Mike Trout in, or he is picking Mike Trout again. So
I mean, that's not a bad strategy. Let's just pick Mike Trout every night. So
it's not. You can. Look, it's open to whatever strategies you want to put out there. Also, I don't know if he has reached out to us yet, but I want to remind him once again. Reek, as he's not Reek. His name is Theon. Everyone was calling him Reek yesterday in the chat. Theon from Ontario. You won the Vladimir Guerrero signed baseball. So Theon, please reach out to us. Email.
Send a Raven.
Mail. Send a Raven, Theon. Mailbag at fantasypros.com. Again, mailbag at fantasypros.com. Say, hey, it's me, Theon, and I'd like to get reunited with my Vladimir Guerrero ball, which is now that's a fun joke, right? Because you can make Theon jokes there. I rarely leave Bogman speechless.
Look,
I just did. Bogman gave me
I know everything that came into my mind. I cannot say, so I'll just let you end it.
Are you excited about the prequel show coming in August 21st?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, HBO puts the money into those shows, and they got better people directing it. So I like that.
All right. I'm excited too, but you know me, I was good with the first time around. I nearly hate it as much as everybody else did. I was like, hey, it was all kind of foreshadowed at the end of season 2, episode 10. Everything that happens in that episode happens at the end of the show. So I don't know why anybody was surprised, but
it happened too fast.
Whatever.
This happened too fast.
Yes, too fast. That's fine. By the way, you still haven't started watching Last Kingdom yet, which again, we got to get there. We got to get you on
It's
board.
on the list, man. There's a lot of baseball happening right now, and
I am Uhtred.
Destiny
is all.
I
want to do an entire show where I speak like Uhtred. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do that'll do it for us. But the story of the game, it goes on. Destiny is all. For Scott Bogman, I'm Joey P. Make sure you subscribe to Fantasy Pros MLB. We're here every single day doing the show. So we hope you enjoy it. We want you to be a part of our community. And if you want to make a home run call, join our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat. That's where you can go to join. And of course, become a Fantasy Pros member, because I'm telling you, when you start using the My Playbook stuff, when you have leagues in multiple spots, when you can put all those leagues into one place and manage them all from Fantasy Pros, it saves you so much time and energy. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check it out. It's the most amazing tool you'll ever have. If you're playing in a Yahoo League, an ESPN League, 2 Fantrax Leagues, and a CBS, I'm telling you right now, the Fantasy Pros tools have you covered. And imagine not having to go to every single stupid app in order to make everything work. You could set all your lineups from Fantasy Pros. That's called money well spent. And I hope this was time well spent. So, Scott Bogman, I will see you again soon. Actually, in like an hour, because we got a meeting. Yep. Everybody else, we'll see you tomorrow. Have fun, kids.
See ya.
Destiny is all.